Good morning. I would like to join Chairman Wang's welcome to all of you. Today's sections on the funding mechanisms of the film-based research scheme. I am Paul Yu. I'm a professor in the University of California, San Diego, and also a member of the RGC here. And I would like to acknowledge, first of all, the committee, the collaborative research project steering committee for the help in making this symposium possible, and also the colleagues in RGC and Secretariat in organizing the whole event. So I would like to start with some basic about the TRS. Let me see if so you advance the slides, okay. So the program is to focus academic research efforts of the University Grants Committee funded university on themes of strategic importance to long-term development of Hong Kong, okay, emphasizing the long-term development, okay. Next slide. So on the resources issues, it is financed by part of the investment return of the Research Endowment Fund, REF. REF was set up by the government in 2009 with initial injection of $18 billion to reaffirm its continued support to research and development. With the government's further injection made in recent years, including the $20 billion injection in 2019, the total principal of REF became $46 billion. Okay. The research film and grant challenge topics are approved by the Education Bureau on the advice of RGC and the Steering Committee on Research Film and Topics, SCRIPT. SCRIPT conduct the first review on research films and grant challenge topic in 2018. 3 new topics were added, including food production and food security to Film 2, financial technology, FinTech, and regulatory technology, RegTech, to Film 3, and artificial intelligence to Film 4 in TRS 2019-20. As Chairman Wang described, to enhance Hong Kong's competitive advantage and better integration in the overall national development, 2 new topics, quantum technology and integrated circuits, have been added to Film 4 in the current 23-24 exercise. Shown here are the current 4 research films and 20 grant challenge topics under the film research scheme. Okay. Next slide here. Starting from 20 to 23 exercise, the area of excellence scheme is changed from a biennial to an annual exercise, and the funding cycles of the TRS and the AOE schemes are synchronized since then. It is the established practice that if an AOE preliminary proposal falls under the respective films and grant challenge topic of TRS, it will be transferred to film-based research automatically. Starting from 20 to 23 exercise, if RGC finds that a prelim proposal of TRS does not fall under the films and grant challenge topics of TRS, RGC will transfer the proposal directly to the AOE scheme exercise. The decision of the RGC will be final. There's no need for the applicant to fill in another application form in case of transfer. Because of the transfer mechanism, an applicant is only allowed to submit 1 application in the capacity of the project coordinator under either TRS or AOE scheme in the same exercise. A single application form will be used for the two schemes. The applicant, however, shall explain in the application why the proposal fits the scheme chosen and consent to the transfer arrangement. To ensure that the PC of the major projects, that is projects funded under TRS or AOE scheme, will spend reasonable time on project management, a PC should not hold more than 2 ongoing major projects at the same time. Exploratory option. There is now an exploratory option under both TRS and AOE schemes starting from 22-23 exercise. The objective of the exploratory option is to allow RGC to invest into high risk, that is, not fulfilling all assessment criteria, especially on readiness of preliminary data and the team's credentials, and yet potentially groundbreaking and highly original research. Okay. These exploratory projects will be given 1 year budget on a pro rata basis and the duration of 1 year to yield preliminary result with a 6-month no-cost extension could be approved by the Collaborative Research Project Steering Committee upon application. The PCs of exploratory projects will need to submit a fresh application and compete with other proposals on equal footing in the subsequent funding cycle. Now, the one thing is to notice the exploratory option is discretionary. There's no need for the applicants to specify the exploratory nature when they submit the proposal. The relevant selection panel may exercise the exploratory option for projects that are not funded due to the lack of preliminary supporting data and or adequate past experience as reflected in the team's credential and are deemed to be potentially groundbreaking, that is, demonstrating high levels of originality and or innovation in transforming research approaches, standards, theory, and or methods engaging novel disciplinary or interdisciplinary perspective, as well as having sufficient potential in yielding good results. Okay. So the budget for the regular TRS exercise increases from $230 million in 22-23 to $300 million in 23-24 exercise in view of the increase in the number of grand challenge topics as well as the increase in the number of applications. In addition to the $300 million funds, an additional approximable budget of $50 million per year is allocated from REF for strategic allocations by the committee, the steering committee, among the 3 collaborative research funding schemes, that is TRS, AOE, and also CRF. The chairs of the steering committee and the CRF selection panel will discuss and agree in the June meeting on a proportion based on the prospective funding needs of the 3 schemes. The exploratory option will be exercised at the central board stage of the evaluation process on discretionary basis. Any unused funding will be retracted to the regular exercise of TRS. All right. So the funding is divided into direct costs and on costs. the ceiling of direct costs per project to be awarded by RGC is $75 million. The on-cost is 27%, and the project coordinator allowance is $377,000 per project per year. All right. Next, I would like to touch upon the assessment of the theme-based research proposals. The selection process comprised 2 stages, the preliminary and the full proposal stage. Each prelim proposal is evaluated by 3 readers from the theme-based schemes selection panel. The selection panel comprises members who are experts in various research fields. Members of different theme groups will assist in the assessment of cross-disciplinary proposals. Whenever necessary, experts outside the TRS selection panel will be invited to serve as co-op members to assess proposals. Okay. So after the prelim proposals, the proposals which are invited to submit the full proposal now go to the second stage, which is the full proposal stage. Each full proposal submitted is evaluated by 3 external reviewers who are non-local experts in the field of proposal being assessed. The comments of the external reviewers, without grading or ratings, will be released to the PCs of the full proposals, and the PCs will be allowed to respond in 1 A4 page within 1 week. Then upon receiving the feedback from the PCs, the member of the selection panel will consider carefully the comments and the deliberation of the external reviewer and the PC's response to the external reviewer's comments. Each proposal will be assessed by 3 readers from the TRS selection panel. And then the project teams of shortlisted proposal will be interviewed at the selection panel meeting in June every year. The funding recommendation is made to the Collaborative Research Projects Steering Committee, which is formerly known as the Major Project Steering Committee, upon careful assessment and careful judgment of the selection panel with reference to the assessment criteria. So I'm happy to tell you that starting in June, all this meeting will be occurring in person again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, I think I skipped. So on the topic of selection criteria, there are 5 sub-areas for the criteria. The first one is qualification as world-leading by international standards. So the selection panel asks a question, is the proposal likely to achieve new results at the top level of excellence as measured by international standards? Does the proposal address an intellectually challenging problem? The panel will also ask, is a proposal focused and structured in a way that it will have a high potential to create a significant academic impact within the designated theme and grand challenge topic? Okay. So here we really have to uphold the academic standard. Okay. The second criteria is impact to Hong Kong. Besides the academic standard, one also asks, does the proposal have relevance to the future social or economical development of Hong Kong, especially in areas unique to Hong Kong and where Hong Kong enjoys a competitive advantage? Okay. The third criteria is the credential and resources of the project teams. Okay. So the panel will ask, are the team members considered to be internationally stature by their peers in the field? This applies in particular to the project coordinator and co-principal investigator. They will also ask, does the proposal build on existing strengths and achievements? If the proposal contains topics that are relatively new to the project team, does the project team have sufficient intellectual and infrastructural resources that will allow successful delivery of the new ventures? And finally, under this criteria, they will ask, does the team have the potential for greater high-value impact through such funding award by the TRS? So oftentimes, the team could propose many big impactful topics. So sometimes that will be very difficult to be achieved in 5 years, or they promise too much. Okay? And just be careful not to overpromise. Okay. And then the next one is the clear strategies. The panel will ask, does the proposal have a clear strategic direction and plan? Is there coherence in terms of an integrated and focused programs of research training, teaching, and knowledge transfer? Are the milestones and deliverables structured in a reasonable and achievable manner based on the proposed timeline and resources? Okay. Now, finally, the fifth criteria is sound structure for an excellent research project. Here, the panel will ask the project team, do they have a sound system of governance? We have seen projects which can range from a few people, namely maybe 4 or 5, to a team as large as 15 people. So they have different complexity of governance in those cases. And so we are asking from the panel if such a structure can sustain a 5-year-long project. Okay. Thus, if the proposed project involves collaboration among multiple institutions and or multidisciplinary teams, do the collaborating parties know clearly their roles and their responsibilities? Is the proposed collaboration necessary for success, or is it superficial? Okay. Sometimes people's names were put on for no good reasons other than the schedule. So that could be a reason for not to be selected. Okay. Yeah. So is there stakeholders, namely industry, government, and the like? They're involved in steering the project. Is the involvement meaningful for impacting the development of Hong Kong? So oftentimes, at various stages of the projects, this party participate in, even in the review meetings that RGC hold with the projects team. So here I would like to share with you some statistics. All in all, we have a total of 68 film-based research scheme projects funded in the last 12 rounds of exercise. Under Film 1, we have 30 projects funded, including one which is exploratory project. Under Film 2, we have 19 of them. And under Film 3, we have 8 projects funded and ongoing. Under Film 4, we have 11. The reason is that Film 4 only started from the 6th round exercise. So this add together 68. And we currently are looking at the prelim proposal of the 13th round. And this week, the committee has been working very hard to do the shortlisting the exercise. So with that, I would like now turn to the audience for your comments and questions about this theme-based research scheme.
Thank you very much, Professor Yu. I think that's a really clear and detailed explanation. I'd like to see audience have any questions for Professor Yu. If you have it, please raise your hand. Let us know. Can you elaborate how the new theme has created? Well, you mentioned each year you add a new topic. What's the process of actually coming?
So historically, the question is how the themes evolve over time. In the very beginning, the selection committee discussed based on the proposals and also talking to the colleagues from universities in RG-funded university in Hong Kong, and come up with modification to the existing themes or adding topic towards. However, a couple of years ago, there's a committee called SQUID, which is chartered to look at globally, not just locally, but also globally, what are the important research areas that also could be impacting Hong Kong. So it's more broad-based, and then this body will get the feedback from the local university as well as from the TRS selection panel. So the process might take up to a year for adding new topics, but then it's through the consensus, both locally and as well with the theme-based selection panel. Yeah. Yeah.
Are there different weightings for the 5 selection criteria? Has the weighting been changed over the years? In other words, is the quality 50% important, relevance to Hong Kong 30% important, or they are equally important?
They are all considered to be important, because it is, we do not put a weight in the selection process. We look at it holistically, whether they are all good in all 5 areas. And the thing is also important, the feedback mechanism from both external reviewers' comments. Prior to this process, there are complaints saying that after they see the external reviewers' comments, they said that there are a lot of misunderstanding. So using this direct feedback allow the panel, selection panel, to actually see the hidden corners of the proposal, not picked up by the external reviewer. And then at the end of the process, for those proposals which are not selected in either the prelim stage or the full proposal stage, feedbacks were given back to the team in the hope that they can improve their proposal the next time. Yeah. Thank you for the questions. Yeah, for both, yeah. I'm sure that you have a lot of questions.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Yu. I think those information will be really helpful for colleagues who will be the future applicants. Thank you so much.
You.
Please have
Thank
seats.
You.